Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another live stream. Just as soon as we finish the first live stream, we're back with another live stream, just because we have, of course, important developments. And as usual, as I promised you, whenever there's something urgent, you'll see me popping up. So I'm here. Okay, so the attack begun. The attack has begun on Iran, and it's not only reports, it's Israel confirming that the attack has begun on Iran. Explosions were also heard in Syria and in Iraq. Reports that there are military targets being targeted in Iran. And we are going to start off with what Israel is saying. So we had this article here in the Israeli website Ynet. The Israel response has begun. The IDF attacks military targets in Iran. After 25 days of waiting, Israel began to respond to the ballistic missile attack. Tonight, it was reported on Iranian television about at least 5 strong explosions in the capital Tehran and the city of Karj. At the same time, reports of Israeli planes seen in Syrian skies alongside explosions in Damascus and Homs. The targets, air defense batteries, and radar. Now, before I begin, previously we were talking about the actual attempts coming from Israel to conduct an attack on Iran, and the fact that the attack on Iran would come most likely through Syria and through Iraq. Clearly, Israel is now targeting these areas and the potential air defense systems to make it smoother for Israel to conduct an attack on Iran, and they clearly chose that route. Israel chose the route of Syria and Iraq. They went through most likely the Syrian southeastern borders through certain territories in Iraq, and then they continued to the Iranian territories. Now, we're going to continue with this report here. Okay. Days after the largest ballistic missile attack on Israel, the reaction began. Iranian television reported, and we spoke about that, attacks in Tehran, in Karj, and the IDF confirmed less than half an hour later that it was accurately attacking military targets in Iran. According to the announcement of the IDF spokesperson, Brigadier General Daniel Hagari, the IDF is now precisely attacking military targets in Iran in response to the ongoing attacks of the regime in Iran against Israel in recent months, in accordance with the guidance of the political echelon. Yesterday and in the days before, we heard that the military establishment, the cabinet, approved the attack on Iran, and they were just waiting on political orders. Clearly now Benjamin Netanyahu has given the orders to start attacking. Hagari said that the IDF is fully prepared in attack and defense, and we are following the developments from Iran and its proxies. The IDF conducts an ongoing assessment of the situation. At this stage, there is no change in the directives of the Home Front Command. You must continue to be alert and vigilant and obey the instructions of the Home Front Command. In the New York Times, it was written that the Iranian media reported that the explosions occurred near Imam Khomeini International Airport. According to the evidence, residents flocked to the streets. At the same time, Syrian Center for Monitoring Human Rights, an opposition organization based in London, reported that Israeli planes were spotted near the skies over the countryside of Daraa in Syria, and explosions were heard in Homs and Damascus. According to reports, among the targets were air defense batteries in Homs and radar bears in Sueda. Clearly, not surprising, Israel is trying to attack the areas that they deem as a potential threat or would pose a potential threat to its attacks on Iran. Therefore, they conducted these attacks and then continued to Iran. And I'm going to be covering the reports as and when they come. This is my assumption so far. Firstly, the confirmation from Israel that the attack has begun indicates that we haven't seen all of it yet, and they are going to continue with their attacks. It doesn't appear that it's only one attack and that's it. And here we are having some images coming up from the ground about these attacks that are happening in Iran. And here we have another image that appears to be near the Imam Khomeini airport, which signals that indeed Israel is attacking. So far, they said that it's military targets. However, if they're attacking near the Imam Khomeini, then we're talking about potentially civilian infrastructure as well. Now, it would be accurate to assume that Iran is at the start of containing the attack, and this is another video that I would be sharing with you here. That is lights heard, Israeli Air Force in Iran. So clearly we can listen to the fighter jets coming from Iran. These are initial images that we are hearing now and seeing, excuse me, coming from Iran, from multiple sources in Iran. And like I said, I think Iran is now at the phase of containing. They will probably contain the attack. IRINN is citing security sources saying that most of the loud explosions in Tehran were heard due to air defenses intercepting hostilities.
News attacks from the regime in Iran.
Okay. Now we're going to post an image of someone who you might not necessarily like that much.
In response to months of continuous attacks from the regime in Iran against the state of Israel, right now, the Israel Defense Forces is conducting precise strikes on military targets in Iran. The regime in Iran and its proxies in the region have been relentlessly attacking Israel since October 7th on 7 fronts, including direct attacks from Iranian soil. Like every other sovereign country in the world, the state of Israel has the right and the duty to respond. Our defensive and offensive capabilities are fully mobilized. We will do whatever necessary to defend the state of Israel and the people of Israel. In response to months of continuous attacks
we heard you. Okay, enough.
in Iran against the state of
Israel. Enough of that. Okay, we got it. Okay, that was your friend Daniel Hagari confirming that Israel, of course, has the right to defend it. Oh, just in, Iranian fighter jets take off from their military bases. That's coming from BRICS News. Iranian fighter jets going out from their bases. What, is Iran going to surprise us with an Air Force attack? And the interesting thing here is that earlier we had the reports of the at least 10 KC-135R refueling aircrafts with F-16 fighter jets from the US heading towards US bases in the region, Al-Udaid and maybe Wafaq Salti, according to a report. Apparently, in support of this Israeli attack, we had this report before. If these fighter jets and refueling aircrafts conducted attacks from Al-Udaid and from any other base in the region, I'm telling you, it's going to be extremely problematic. It's going to be very problematic because you're talking about countries who already confirmed that there won't be any participation from them in any attack. So we had a confirmation coming from Saudi Arabia, from Qatar, and from the UAE, saying that they won't be participating. If we had this, if this report was accurate, and that these refueling aircrafts and F-16s were there, and they helped Israel with any refueling missions, you're talking about you're talking about a big problem in the region, not just in Israel. I would, again, you cannot rule that out. You can't rule that out, but I wouldn't be surprised. Fine Home Painting and the Virus and Shannon, thank you so much for your supers, much appreciated. And thank you for your kind and wonderful comments, always here to hopefully shed some light on the situation. And again, if you're joining us now, this is a live coverage of Israel's attack on Iran. Israel confirmed that they began attacking Iran in what they describe as accurate measures, accurate attacks on strategic locations in Iran, and we are going to be covering all of the updates as and when they happen. So far, what we know, Israel attacked multiple locations. We heard explosions in Iraq and in Syria. We heard that Israel attacked radar and air defense systems in Syria, which would have been the most suitable place for them to attack Iran from, the southeastern line or border with Syria and Jordan, taking down any potential threat, and then continuing to Iran. And also, Hiam, thank you very much for your super, much appreciated. And we will also take some of the comments and questions from our members and subscribers as and when. Okay. We have another report that Israel has deployed dozens of fighter jets in attacks on a power plant in Tehran, Mashhad, and Karj. The Israeli military, this is being circulated on X as well. The Israeli military also struck a Syrian air defense base and a Russian defense launchers. This is something dangerous. So we had this report here saying that from Syria Sana news agency, in Iraq, explosions have been reported in the province of Diyala and Salah ad-Din, as well as several other locations, as reported by Al-Mayadin's Iraq correspondent. Media reports that 6 explosions have occurred in Tehran. Now, Karj Electric Company confirmed hearing explosions near the airport and around nuclear storage facilities. We're talking about nuclear storage facilities. Then that means
تواجدون تحديدا في مكان وموقع.
I'm not sure Okay. I'm not entirely sure that these, to be fair, are from Iran. I cannot verify that. But this has been...
in response to
Oh, here
months
we
of
have you
continuous
again. We
attacks
heard
from
you.
the
ولك
regime in
خل
Iran
عنا.
against the state of Israel.
Oh my
Right now,
God. اسكت.
the Israel
Right now, the Israel, I didn't mean to put him again. Okay, he came in my feed again. All right. Let's see. Okay. So, this report, if they attack the nuclear facilities, that's very dangerous. Okay, Iran military. We already have preparations coming from Iran. Well, this is Iran military. It's not official, but I mean, some people affiliated with Iran on social media saying permission to fight back is hereby granted to those being fought, for they have been wronged, and Allah is truly most capable of helping them prevail. They're quoting a verse from the Quran and hashtag Operation True Promise 3. So, we already have it. Operation True Promise 3 on the way, apparently, coming from Iran. And SM Sunasara, thank you so much. Mimi AIA is saying, do you think Turkey's airstrikes on Syria and Iraq yesterday had anything to do with the gathering intel on air defenses? Listen, the air defenses of Syria are exposed to a very high level. You have many countries with bases in Syria, Turkey, Iran, the US, Russia, whatever the US has, Israel has operatives in Syria. They support certain groups in Syria, so they would have enough intel as to where they are. It's not like they can, hide them in a very effective manner. However, the most dangerous thing that we heard is the fact that there was an attack on a Russian air defense system in Syria, and that is problematic.
اینجا سمت پالایشگاه خبری نیست خدا رو شکر.
Iran's Mahr News is showing that everything when it comes to oil and fuel is fine with trucks moving, mainly to show that they haven't been attacked yet, perhaps.
خبری نیست خدا رو شکر. ساعت 2:30 امن و امان.
That was from Iran's Mahr News Agency. And again, we're going to try and monitor things from inside of Iran. And outside of it, so they're showing as if, the energy sector hasn't been affected yet. Mahr News Agency as well. Okay. The Iranian Foreign Minister spokesperson Ismail Baqai condemned the Zionist attack on that's Lebanon. That's not today. Well, that's noteworthy though. They killed 3 journalists. That was yesterday. It's not relating to the attack at the moment. But Israel killed 3 journalists in an attack on the press, which is typical to what they do. But now we are trying to monitor everything from Iran. Okay, let's see if we have more confirmation from Israel. And thank you, everyone sending supers, much appreciated. Alan Marwin, and Mary T, and Physique Drummond. Thank you very much for your supers, and everyone else. And we have this as well to show that everything from Imam Khomeini Airport is functioning as normal.
فرودگاه امام ساعت 2:50 صبح. فرودگاه امام ساعت 2:50 صبح.
So these were images of or footage of the Imam Khomeini airport showing that the airport is functional following reports that it was attacked by Israel. And so far, we received multiple reports about the nature of the attack. Okay. Iranians are observing the significant attack of Israel. So maybe they're trying to show as if the attack is not significant, but we haven't really had, apart from just a couple of footage and videos here and there. And again, Israel said that the attack has begun. So, I mean, we would expect, or at least this is what would be expected, that Israel would continue with its attacks. Continue with this with its attacks, and so far it's only been this initial attack. Okay, let's follow up on some of the Arab media. Okay, Israeli media is saying that hundreds of fighter jets are participating in the attacks. Hundreds of fighter jets. Okay. Well, they're not coming up with anything new apart from the fact that we had this attack and they haven't changed the instructions. And for those of you who haven't been observing what's been happening, this attack is coming after the reports of the leak from the United States, clearly to show as if oh no, we leaked it, so it might be delayed. We heard talks, actual reports in Israel today saying that Israel might delay its attack due to the leaks, supposed leaks that are happening from the United States. Yet, despite that, now they attacked. So that leak was clearly a way to kind of try and trick Iran. And at the time, I know many of you mentioned that, and advised, of course, that Iran wouldn't be waiting on certain leaks to prepare its defense or its attack. And of course, everything would be completely coordinated between the United States and Israel. For anyone who thinks that this wouldn't be coordinated, it's 100% coordinated between Israel and the United States, especially with the reports about refueling jets and fighter jets. Well, additional refueling jets and fighter jets coming to the region that belong to the United States. Okay, we have another video from Iran to show that everything is normal. So it appears that there was an attack that wasn't followed by more attacks. And if we're talking about hundreds of fighter jets, then where did they go? That's the question. So did they have this initial attack and stop? And before I continue, Muhammad Yunus and CEG and Barney Chua and Magdi Badawi, Steph, Muhammad Amiri, and everyone who we mentioned previously, thank you for your support. And Kamran as well, thank you. And Joblo, welcome to membership as well. If you're joining us now, again, we are covering, I'm with you here with this attack from Israel on Iran. I mean, if we compare it to Iran's operations, what is this? I mean, I haven't seen anything significant yet. Of course, not to undermine Israel's capabilities when it comes to, military capabilities and what have you. But apart from this initial attack, it doesn't look like much is happening. And again, this video is coming from Tehran now. And again, Israel confirmed that they started the attack. It's not that they actually started the attack. And other reports, hundreds of fighter jets. So is that it? If that's it, then Israel's trying to do something to show that it responded, but they're clearly petrified of an Iranian response. I mean, how likely would it be to stop an Iranian response? That's the question here. I don't think it's I mean, if it's just that and it wasn't significant, but they confirmed again, Iran, it would be difficult to Iran. It would be difficult for Iran to try and find an excuse not to respond, to be fair. Why? Because Israel confirmed And they said it began, so we might anticipate more. And also, we don't know exactly what happened yet, because from Iran's perspective, from the reports that we're getting from Iran, Israel is saying that we are targeting, specific military targets. Iran said that the explosions heard were the sounds of their air defense systems working. Their air defense systems working. That's what was heard. And Israel is not saying that we have more attacks so far. So again, it could be a case. Now Israel saying, we're changing the equation. Israel saying we're changing the equation now. White House sources, the attack in Iran is self-defense. And the United States isn't participating in this operation. Everything is self-defense when it comes to Israel. Slaughtering children and innocent people. Everything is self-defense. But yeah, that's the latest White House. Okay. The United States isn't participating in the attacks on Iran, and it was updated about them beforehand. Sources are telling Reuters and CNN, and a spokesperson is saying that the attacks are self-defense because of the ballistic missile attack on Iran on the 1st of October. Again, taking everything out of context, as if, history starts when they want, events start when they want, and self-defense is, what? U.S. administration logic for you. If they're quoting that on Reuters, then let's see what Reuters are saying. Israel hit back at Iran early on Saturday with its military saying it was conducting strikes against military targets in response to Tehran's attack on Israel. Okay, they're quoting the military spokesperson again. The scope of attack was not immediately clear, still not very clear. Iran State TV said several strong explosions have been heard in Tehran, which is what we've heard so far. Semi-official Iranian media said explosions were also heard nearby the city of Karj. Yeah, these are the initial reports. Tasnim news agency said that nothing has been reported about hearing the sound of rockets or airplanes in the sky of Tehran so far. And again, like what the State TV said before, unnamed Iranian intelligence officials saying that the origin of the loud explosions could be from activation of Iran's air defense systems. Here we go. That's the statement from the White House that we're looking for. We understand that Israel is conducting targeted strikes against military targets in Iran as an exercise of self-defense and in response to Iran's ballistic missile attack against Israel on October the 1st. History started then, when Iran attacked. Said White House National Security Council spokesperson Sean Savit. I think he should have been called Sean Save It, Sean Save It, spare us, Sean. Washington is seeking to head off further widening of the conflict. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on Wednesday that Israel's retaliation should not lead to a greater escalation. I like, you know, these statements coming from the U.S. officials, like you're holding a psychopathic murderer, right, or without a leash, and telling them, yeah, just don't go mental, or a convicted felon. Okay, but again, yeah, the same reports that we had before, that the attacks are happening, but they're not providing us with more information. And again, Israeli sources are repeating that this has just started now. Okay, we have another report that the Israeli fighter jets tried to target 3 bases in the Tehran suburbs, but the Iranian air defense systems confronted them. 2 Arab sources told NBC, and that's according to the Israeli newspaper Ma'ariv, that they tried to target munition facilities. Let's have a look. And Fox News added that President Joe Biden was informed about the developments. What is Joe Biden going to do if he's updated about the developments? What, prevent them? Okay. So the recent updates are that they confronted them. The Iranian air defense systems confronted them in the suburbs of Tehran, and that they tried to attack weapons depots. Fars news agency says that multiple military bases in West and South Tehran are the targets of the Israeli attack. And this was published here on Al Mayadeen as well, that the Israeli army announces attacks on military targets in Iran. Again, what Israel reported, and their correspondent that we quoted previously, confirmed that there was no targeting of Imam Khomeini and Mehrabad airports, where air traffic is proceeding normally, or of oil facilities, noting that all that has happened so far is hearing the sound of 3 explosions which were related to air defense activities. He explained that there were Israeli attempts to target 3 bases in Tehran, but the Iranian air defenses confronted them. And they are debunking the Israeli claims of targeting Imam Khomeini and Mehrabad airports and oil facilities. And they're, of course, repeating the fact that we heard explosions previously in Syria and Iraq. And for those of you who are joining now, the reports previously spoke about the attacking of Syrian and Russian air defense systems in Syria. So clearly, Israel chose the Syrian-Iraqi route that we spoke about. That was the most likely route that they would be taking to go to Iran, rather than, of course, Jordan. Clearly, so far, there are no indications of Saudi participation or allowing any fighter jets, affiliated the U.S. forces to use their airspace during the attack. That's why Israel had this attack on Syria and Iraq as well. And Tor, Sai, and Cameron, thank you so much for your support. And Sophia, welcome to the channel as well, and everyone joining us. Dawn Tullius is saying, Mahmoud, just check the flight radar for commercial planes in Israeli airspace, while there are plenty of commercial planes in Iranian airspace. Well, clearly we saw the videos. Yeah, I just shared videos of the movement in Imam Khomeini, I think, airport, and it seemed fine. And again, the reports were that the explosions were heard due to primarily the air defense systems working. If that's the attack and that ended, then that's quite weak. It's quite a weak attack. But again, I mean, Israel said it's the beginning. And, we're monitoring the updates from them. They said the attack begun. However, so far we just heard about this these explosions that were heard, and they were in Tehran, reported in Tehran and surrounding areas, and in Karj area. So, and again, we haven't seen like explosions on the ground or anything of the sort. Some people are mocking it as well on social media now. They're saying, where is the attack? Yeah. Well, if we compare that to the live stream or the live streams that we had when Iran attacked Israel, and we spent up to 6 hours live streaming, this live stream might end very soon unless there are other developments. But they flex muscles on civilians. I mean, not even flex muscles. You can't call that muscle flexing, you know. They attack civilians, but when it comes to Iran or someone that can really hurt them, Okay. Let's see if we have something new from the Arab media. People are saying the attack on Iran is still continuing. What attack? Can someone explain? I mean, okay. Let's see the Hebrew media. Not much, apart from the fact that they're saying that again, yeah, this is Tehran. Here we go. And according to Israel, it's still continuing. This is reported to be an intercepted missile near Tehran, a fire next to a bush due to an intercepted missile. So this is the damage so far that we're seeing. Reported intercepted missile. Reported intercepted missile from the apparent Israeli attack. Again, so far they said it was in Tehran and in Karj. I mean, there are reports coming about a potential second wave, but we can't really verify that. And again, some videos are circulating about certain explosions that are not from today, by the way. Okay, the newest thing that's coming from Israel here is the fact that we have a report from the Israeli media about a source in Israel, an Israeli source, saying that we are not attacking nuclear or energy facilities in Iran. We are not attacking nuclear or energy facilities in Iran. That is coming from Israel. An Israeli official told the American NBC network that Israel is not attacking nuclear facilities or energy sites in Iran and is focusing on military targets. At the same time, two senior Arab officials told NBC that the attack was aimed at weapons depots. And they're quoting reports in Iran that several military bases were hit. Again, that's Israeli media. And again, that the airports are fine. And here we have the report that said the cabinet approved the attack on Iran in a telephone discussion. The confirmation of the Israeli cabinet approving it came several days back. It was just waiting on an authorization from Benjamin Netanyahu. But clearly now Benjamin Netanyahu gave the authorization for the attack. And let's see. Lydia Rosato, Tor Saipo, Kimberly Bell Cohen, Jonathan Ray, and everyone else. Thank you so much for your supers. Lydia saying, how disgusting, Jordan allowed their airspace to be used. That hasn't been confirmed. That hasn't been confirmed that Jordan used their airspace. And we had a confirmation that Israel attacked Syria and Iraq on the way. So clearly Israel chose or what it perceived to be the safest route, which is Iraq, Syria, then Iraq, and they attacked air defense systems. So there is no confirmation that they went through Jordan. Amir Ryder saying, bro, as usual, the Zionist words and statements do not match their actions. Lol. If they openly announce that they're attacking Iran, they would absolutely show damage. The fact there isn't any. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, compare this to the Iran attack live stream, right? Nothing significant, but also don't forget one thing, that could be due to very effective air defending, and that could also mean that Israel is trying to test the capabilities of the air defense systems before they potentially do something bigger. That's what they could be doing. However, so far we haven't seen damage. So far, there is no damage. I mean, and we're on social media, or on Iranian media, Israeli media, Arab media, and Western media too. And again, that was the latest video coming from Tehran, just here. Matt B, did they run out of US weapons? No, but they like to use them on innocent civilians because they can't hit them back. Israel likes to hit those who can't hit back. But Iran, you know, a country that can hit them back, no, they... And Saint Regal, thank you. You said they didn't attack nuclear energy spots because they only do hospitals and playgrounds. Totally, 100%. This is what they, and hospitals, playgrounds, schools. That's what they do. Here's your chance. Now, you declare the operation has begun. Go ahead, show us something. Free Palestine, all bark, no bite. That's what we're seeing. Digital orientation, yeah, yeah, we just spoke about that. That could be correct. The fact that Israel might be, or the genocide force, as you label them, is testing Iran's air defense capabilities and collecting intelligence before the main attack. Otherwise, this is pathetic. That could be the case, but don't forget that Iran could be deceiving them with their air defense, by the way, because they could be doing, they could be using secondary radars so that they don't reveal the main radars operating. Because what Israel would want is to attack the main radars for Iran's air defense systems. But however, for Iran to hide it, and other countries too, they would use secondary ones. So I wouldn't be surprised if Iran would use a secondary radar to try and cover it up. Okay. Let's see if we have anything new. Syria is confirming. Syria is confirming that Syrian Ministry of Defense said that around 2 a.m., the enemy carried out an airstrike against a number of military sites in the southern and central region of Syria. The air defense confronted the missiles and shot down some of them. Tests of the results of the attacks are still ongoing. So Syria is now confirming officially. And Iranian reports there were 3 Israeli attempts to attack military bases in Tehran, but the air defense systems neutralized them. They took them down. They did not succeed in targeting 3 military bases in Tehran. Let's go to check your participation as well. Moondog, Yamams, Mingla, and Anwar, and SM, and Hassan Zaidi, and Yaqub, and Saint Regal. Thank you very much for your supports, and for anyone else participating. Let's take some of your participation here. Moondog saying, we Americans really care about Palestinians. Absolutely. Yamams is saying, it's funny when the Houthis shot hypersonic missiles, Israel retaliated about 3 times. They even brought out the B-2 bombers with Iran 25 days in nothing. Bunch of cowards. But it appears to be quite a weak response so far. But again, they said it began. So let's see if it's followed by further actions. Mingla saying Netanyahu calculations around American elections. Anwar, they want us to think that they are defending themselves against Iran, but leave all their previous attacks on Iran, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq out of the story. Okay, of course, this is what the mainstream media would want you to think. Okay, Hassan Zaidi, do you think Iran will respond, and what type of response if there isn't much damage? That's interesting. Well, firstly, Iran said we will respond if Israel attacks us, and we will respond in a harsher manner. Now, Iran is at the stage of absorbing what's happening. So when any attack occurs, you need to understand what happens. What happened, gather the information, the data, collect it from the sources, inspect the damage that has been done. Gullyberg, I hope that's correct, unconfirmed. An F-35 was supposedly shot down. I hope so. I hope all of their Air Force gets shot down. Air Force is committing genocide against innocent civilians. Have you heard about the Israeli Air Force pilot who committed suicide? Many of them are committing suicide now. But yeah, going back to the question of if Iran will attack, firstly, they will absorb what's happening, gather information, see the level of damage, and then make a decision. The only thing that would make it more difficult for Iran not to respond now, by the way, even if the Israeli attack was insignificant, by the way, is the fact that Israel confirmed it's attacking. So if Israel confirmed they're attacking, you have to attack back. Sayyida Hamda Rahil, so they sent jets for bush burning, costing trillions of dollars. Cowards. Yeah, that's what they do. But that's the thing, it's not their money. It's the taxpayers' money. It's the American taxpayers' money. So long as, you know, the American taxpayer is paying for it, of course, they'll use it to burn bushes. Yeah. So if they're paying for it. And Mustafa, thank you so much. I am Muhammad, World War III incoming. There's an argument that World War III has begun. Low pace, no nuclear bombs yet, not completely out of control. But so long as you have a genocidal administration in the United States and a genocidal administration in Israel, you will have a very big prospect of having a world war because they're reckless. They constantly poke. They ordered Zelensky to go and attack nuclear facilities in Russia. Why did they do that? Okay, this came on social media. Apparently, a fire scene in West Tehran. I think it's the image that we shared in the beginning, if you recall. But yeah, apart from that, let's go back to Israel and check if they're reporting anything new. Israeli source is saying that Israeli source who has knowledge around the attack in Iran is saying that Iran is trying to say that the explosions are from their air defense systems that managed to take down some of the missiles. That's a lie. That's a total failure, 0 interceptions. That's what Israel is saying. You know, that Iran is not succeeding in intercepting anything. And again, you know, nothing can be verified so far. Athena, Bansdad, Vivet. Thank you, Vivet, saying, Mahmoud, do you think Iran will respond immediately? And Athena, you're welcome. Not necessarily. I think they're, like I said, they're trying to absorb what's happening, see the scale of damage, and only then okay, AA is saying, I am from Tehran and I did not see any fire or attack. Only the sound of defending the unknown object would be heard outside of Tehran. Netanyahu does not dare to really attack Iran. Thank you for that. Live updates from viewers are always appreciated. And again, yeah, I mean, Khadija is saying, I believe Russia has given Iran nukes. This may be why Israel is scared to attack or strike too harshly. Yeah, they probably know that, because when Iran was threatened with a nuclear attack, if they attack Israel, they said we'll respond with the same manner. And it wouldn't be surprising that they would have nuclear weapons at their disposal if they get attacked heavily. That's assuming they don't already have them from before. And it's not just from Russia that they can get them. They can get them from other countries too. And Hani Sharki, thank you so much. Sour Vodka saying Iran does not need Russian nukes. Again, that's an argument. Listen, if you want to talk about it in terms of effectiveness, well, what they've done so far, that's damage. What they have done in Israel, that is called damage. And it appears that we're seeing the same repeat of the April fireworks that Israel had. Arash, thank you so much for that. And okay, we'll go through your questions and participation alongside the live updates. Dareen, thank you for that. You said legitimate targets on X, jets taken off from their military bases. We heard that too, yeah. And we mentioned that in the beginning that Iran deployed a couple of their fighter jets from air bases in Iran. They were probably taking part in the counter or confronting the attack. Bujar, you're saying that this was aimed to be an attack through mainstream media. It looks like it. It does look like it. Because this is the attack. This is Tehran. You know, we're not seeing anything significant coming. And do you notice something, by the way? Anthony Blinken comes around to mediate in the Middle East, and he is, oh yeah, we want to talk and we need to talk and this and that, and Israel starts to attack. Even AP is saying there is no immediate information on damage in the Islamic Republic. Dubai, AP, Israel launched airstrikes early Saturday on what is described as military targets in Iran, retaliation for ballistic missile assault on October 1st. Officials said there was no immediate information on damage in the Islamic Republic. The attack, threatened for weeks by Israel, comes as the Middle East sits on the precipice of a regional war more than a year after initial attack by Hamas on Israel. Okay. Again, nothing significant. I mean, if this is the attack, really, this is what some other analysts are saying. If this is the attack, then clearly we have a new equation here, and Israel is petrified. And we have confirmations that Shiraz didn't have anything. Okay, no explosions in Shiraz. And again, Tasnim is confirming that the explosions heard were air defense systems. Okay. Well, listen, like I said, it doesn't appear to be anything significant so far. It looks like, well, now they're saying dozens. Israel saying dozens of fighter jets are attacking in Iran. Well, it was hundreds before. Now they're saying dozens. Free Palestine. Looks like a lipstick on a pig. It's Zio propaganda, a circus show. That's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing. Because, okay, over an hour after that. And listen, usually when you have an attack, you will see something significant, even if it's the initial attack. Like when Iran said they were about to attack, you were waiting for the missiles. They arrived, then bang, 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 bang for 20 minutes, destroying genocide bases inside the occupied territories, and then done. And they declare to the world, we attack them in accordance to international law, UN Charter Article 52, and that's it. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up here for now. I mean, If there's anything significant, I will get back to you. So for those of you who joined later on, we just covered the apparent Israeli attack on Iran. The Israeli military said they are targeting specific military targets inside of Iran. The images from Iran that we have seen showed, well, there was one fire that appeared to be from an interception. There was no damage to airports, no damage to the energy sector, no damage to the nuclear sector, no confirmation that any military base was indeed attacked. Normal scenes from Iran. Reports that the explosions heard were explosions from Iranian air defense systems. According to Israel, dozens of fighter jets participated. We also heard reports that, well, confirmation that they attacked air defense systems and radars in Syria. Some were potentially Russian as well. Attacks were heard in Iran, in Salah ad-Din province and Diyala. And that's about it. And again, if that's the Israeli response, then, you know, what can we say? A very short live stream. That's what I can say. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If there is any significant update, or, I mean, I started this live stream after the initial live stream thinking I'm going to go ahead up until 5 a.m., but no. If there's anything else, though, and, you know, I'm still here, I'll come back. But thank you so much for tuning in for another live stream. Thank you for everyone who sent supers. Free Palestine, Faint Signals, Baba Aksar, Dareen Hashem, Arash Aram, Hani Sharki, Athena O, Banzdad, Vivet Shantia, Mustafa Cham, Moondog, Yamams, Mingla Yip, Anwar, SM, Sunasara, Hassan Zaidi, Yagub, Felinejad, Saint Regal, Lydia Rosato, Tuor Saipo, Kimberly Bell Cohen, Jonathan Ray, Sai, Cameron, Muhammad Yunus CEG, Barnichua, Magdi Badawi, Steph, Muhammad, Physique Drummond, Mary T, Alan Marwin, and SM again, Steve Scheiser, Hiam Hudrog, Shannon L. The Virus, and Fine Home Painting. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you so much for everyone else who participated in the chat. I don't know when I'll be with you. If there's anything relevant, I'll be with you again. Otherwise, I'll be with you as normal, hopefully tomorrow, with another live stream to be followed by a video. In the meantime, take care, everyone. Stay blessed and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace, everyone. Take care.